Hey guys, welcome back. Origami here, bringing you another one of our live deck profiles. Today we're going to be discussing Salamence Vmax with a welder engine. So there's going to be a few different ways I build this deck. There's going to be this welder engine based build, welder with like other cards like triple energy. Like this deck doesn't play triple energy because I just feel like it kind of gets in the way. I'd rather play like, right now in this deck I'm playing a scoop up engine with Jirachis and a Dedenne. So I can do that. One card I'm not playing in here, but I should probably make space for, is Baby Volcanion as well, just so I can have something to deal with Decidueyes. Like I want to play two Baby Volks. Because when I was building this deck, I didn't even consider Decidueye because I thought Decidueye was coming out in the next set. But you can easily cut out two cards for two Baby Volks and that should deal with Decidueye. But yeah, there's a, this deck is cool. I like technical decks like this. I like spread decks. They're a lot of fun. So before we get in the video, you guys know the drill. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think is better, the welder version of Mence, or do you think just like welders with triples, or welder, or like the build that has no triples, you just kind of like do your 2 attachments per turn kind of thing? Let me know in the comments down below. There's a lot of arguments for each one. The only reason why I don't like triple plus welder is because like the triples, you find them at like the worst times. They kind of clump up your deck, and it's just so easy to get 4 energies with a welder engine. It feels like a lot more consistent just to use welder all the time rather than rely on triple energies, is what I'm trying to say. I just find myself, because I have so much HP, I don't ever get knocked out. That I never find myself using triples efficiently when I tested it with this originally, which is the original way I played it. I played like 4 of that brand new strong energy. I had that 3, I was playing 4, then I went down to 3 with triple energies, and eventually I just cut them out completely because I'd rather play Jirachis and scoop up nets. But we'll discuss that as we go on, right? So we're going to start with the Salamence. We have 4 Salamence. Now Salamence is really strong. It's got 220 HP, and that first attack does 30 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Really good. It's a shame that it's a 3 energy attack, and it's but I do find myself using this, especially in matchups where I'm not going to get OHKO the following turn. The biggest concern I have is like in the Eternatus Vmax, I only got to use this attack once, because the problem with that is that he sets up the Eternatus, right? Puts an energy on it. If I come in and attack with a Salamence after using a welder, then he's just going to evolve and take a knockout next turn, and then I just lost a bunch of energies and a lot of time. So but in a lot of different matchups, just being able to spam Transflight is just really strong. You also have an attack that does 160. Obviously, 30 plus 160 is 190. And then if you have that strong energy attached, you can just add 40 damage between 2 attacks, which is like 230, which will be enough to knock out pretty much any V Pokemon. So that's pretty good. And then the Vmax is very strange because it goes from hitting 30 damage counters to all of your opponent's Pokemon to 40 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Now, to be fair, it's on a 1 energy attack, which is phenomenal, especially with that new strong energy. You can hit the active for like 60 or like 80, or if you have 2 of them attached. There's an argument to play Vitality Band in this deck list, because with a strong energy plus a Vitality Band, you can actually knock out a Jirachi in 1 hit for that 1 energy. I'm not playing Vitality Band in this list. I'm playing the Zigzagoons. You could easily take out the Zigzagoon and the nets and just take out the net engine altogether and play a Vitality Band instead. That's probably what I'm going to do in the next build, because being able to hit 70 is nice, but also finding the Vitality Band is a lot more difficult than finding the Zigzagoon. So something to keep in mind. But yes, you have 320 HP, weak to Lightning. Lightning shouldn't be as powerful without Electro Powers and stuff like that. So pretty decent weakness to have. We'll see how good Vikavolt is at the end of the day in our meta. The attack does 40 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. In the case, we just kind of weaken an Eternatus Vmax and try to put it in range of Max Wing. Max Wing does 240, but you can't use it next turn. But once again, you combine that with your strong energies, you hit 260. 260 plus 40 is 300. With a couple of Zigzagoon drops, you can take some knockouts very easily. If you use the Transflight beforehand, you can do even more damage. It's a very technical deck. You really got to think. You really got to be careful about how you spread damage, where you put damage counters, stuff like that. It's very important, but I like it a lot. Another way to damage the bench is Cramorant, which is, this deck just feels like it was made for. Especially with like, you can use Twin Sonic or Transflight and damage things like the, what's it called, Crobat, that's actually right in range, like right outside of range of the 160 damage that you do with Snipe Shot. But you know, you can put things in range of Cramorant, and Cramorant also has that first attack, which is Beach Catch. Honestly, it might be worth even playing 2 Cramorants in this deck because that's just really useful, having Beach Catch and Snipe Shot and stuff like that. As far as our draw support goes, we have 2 Dedenne and 2 Crobat. I'm trying out the 2-2 split. We'll see if I like it. There's a lot of draw in this format right now, so consistency is like really good, which is once again why I don't like the triple energies, because the deck itself is already so consistent. I'm able to find Welder when I need to. I'm able to, and also that's the cool thing about the Salamence deck is that you don't need to find Welder every turn. You have Twin Sonic. Twin Sonic's are already a strong attack on its own. Like, you're not OHKOing things, and you're not going to be able to use Max Swing every turn unless you use switches and stuff like that, which is very possible in this deck list. But having access to being able to use Twin Sonic on turns you miss the Max Wing, or even like setting up a Cramorant in the background while you're attacking with like Menses, and then you just come in and use a Snipe Shot. Like, this deck has options in case you miss Welders, which kind of like coincides with its consistency, right? Because you don't need to be hitting with these like massive Max Wing all the time. You don't need to find these triple energies. You don't need to find these Welders every turn, which makes the deck powerful enough on its own. So other cards we got 2 Jirachis, because I like Jirachi a lot. It keeps the deck consistent. It helps in Welder stuff. We got 1 Zigzagoon, 1 Mimikyu. Now ignore what this Mimikyu is. It's not the Shadow Box Mimikyu. There's a brand new Mimikyu in this set, which I might have a picture up if I get a chance to edit this video. If not, there's a brand new Mimikyu that says you can't heal your benched Pokemon. So that's relevant because of Mallow and Lana, because Mallow and Lana switches you to the bench and then it heals you. So if you have Mimikyu on your bench, your opponent can't Mallow and Lana, which is big because you're a spread damage deck. You don't want your opponent to be healing. And Max Wing with a good time Mallow and Lana can put you outside of range sometimes. Not all the time, clearly, because like not a lot of decks have 360 HP, and but you know what I mean. Like, sometimes you use enough Twin Sonics to spread enough damage on the board to put them in range of Max Wing, and then they use Mallow and Lana, and then all of a sudden, oh, now I can't take a knockout, which puts me back like 3 turns. But that Mimikyu helps a lot for that reason. Also, Mr. Mime, so you can stop scoop up netting. And we have 1 Eldegoss because we are a Welder deck, and I don't want to play Mewtwo or Rangaroo. And this is more immediate. The immediacy of this is great whenever you're playing Welder and Marnies. But that's gonna be the Pokemon line. I do like it a lot. Once again, if I wanted to play triples, I would probably cut out the Zigzagoons, and the Zigzagoon and the Jirachis and the Scoop Up Nets, which would make space for 7 cards. I do want to play Baby Volcanions or any other baby fire type attacker to go with the Welders as well, just to deal with Decidueye, so that's something to keep in mind as well. You'd have to make a few cuts for that, just like 2 cuts though, nothing too crazy. You just have to figure out what cards you'd want to cut, which I'm going to try to discuss, because I personally don't know yet, just looking at the deck list. But if I were to make cuts off the top of my head, I'd probably either cut 1 Dedenne or 1 Crobat. Probably a Crobat. I feel like the Dedenne is just a better support card. So maybe 1 Crobat and 1 other card. You could arguably cut Immense, but having high counts of the Salamences is important for like finding them early game, so you can start attaching immediately. I see a lot of people play like 3-3 lines, and like honestly, I don't even like playing a 4-3 line. I'd rather play a 4-4 so I could find the Immenses like immediately, so I can start attacking all the time. Because like, you guys play Pokemon, right? You know that sometimes you just don't find your attacker. So having a higher number means that you're more likely to find your attacker more often. But anyways, back to the supporters now. We got 4 Welders, as you do. And I am playing 3 Marnies because, like I said, I don't use Welder every turn. Having access to Marnie is really, really nice, especially in this deck where you kind of want to disrupt your opponent a little bit. So Marnie has been my other draw supporter of choice. I'm not playing Research in this deck or anything like that because I play so many Crobats and Dedennes. I don't feel like I need the Research. Also, I play Jirachis. And I got Eldegoss to get back some of these supporters as well. And I have 2 Boss's Orders. Of course, I don't really need the Boss's Orders as much, so that's why I'm only playing 2. Usually I play 4 in decks. But that's it for the supporter line. You could easily put in some researches in here, but I just don't use research. Like if you guys really, if you haven't watched the Game versus Eternatus yet, watch it, because it would make a lot of sense the way like I'm discussing this, because the deck is really consistent for like what it is. And I just like Marnie. I think Marnie is just a great supporter. Anyways, for our trainer cards, got quite a few. We got 4 Quick Ball and 2 Pokecom to deal with our Pokemon search. Pokecom is just there to find the what's it called? The Vmax. We have quite a few Pokemon in this deck. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18, which is usually the bare minimum Pokemon I play to validate playing Pokecom. I like Pokecom a lot more than like Evo Incense or anything like that. Even though Evo Incense is like immediate, Pokecom gives you that versatility. Sometimes like you want to, it's like, I use Pokecom a lot to shuffle back into the Dene, so when I play the Dene, I don't lose both the Denes, like stuff like that. So I like Pokecom a lot. We got 4 switches because we like our momentum. Same with the 4 scoop up nets because we are playing Jirachi and we are playing Zigzagoon. So switches are good. We are playing 1 reset stamp and we are a fire deck. So we are playing 3. Oops, let's do this. 3 fire crystal and 3 giant hearth. I could arguably see myself cutting a crystal. Having 3 is so nice though. I'm just trying to think of cards I would cut for the Volcanians, but so far there's nothing I'm looking at that I really want to cut. So I would probably start by cutting a crystal and cutting the Pokemon I mentioned earlier. I forget what it was already. What did I mention it was already? I don't know. Oh yeah, one of the Crobats. I could also see myself cutting a Marnie, but I really like having 3 Marnies. I like being able to use a support every turn, essentially. So I'd probably start with Crystal and Crobat and go from there. I think that would be good. We'll see. This deck list is really, really tight. That's why I'm not playing triples anymore, as you can see. Like, there's really hard to like argue for cards to cut. I could probably actually cut a Stamp or Marnie, one of the two. But anyways, as far as energies go, 4, I know they're all like different, but imagine these are all the strong energies. So the brand new colorless energy that literally is if this colorless energy is attached to a colorless Pokemon, their attacks do 20 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. So it's strong energy, but as a colorless attack, as a colorless cost. And we have 8 fire energies. 8 feels good enough. We have triple. We really only need to welder for like 1 energy. We don't have to welder for a million energies because once again, our early game consists of us setting up with mounts turn 1. Turn 2, usually actually using that first attack to put 40 damage somewhere. So we're not really looking to use 240 immediately. Turn 3 is whenever we probably want to start using 240. That gives us 3 turns to attach 4 energies to a Pokemon that usually is going to involve using a welder at some point. So it's really, really easy to pull that off. And once again, if you do whiff, it's not the end of the world. You just have to change your game plan by doing another 40 damage to 2 Pokemon, right? So I like this deck a lot. I want to keep testing it. I want to try out different builds. The cool thing about playing the build that isn't welder based is that there's a lot of really strong colorless energy cards. Like we have that draw energy, which is just attach draw a card. That's already good in its own right. There is the warp energy, which I think switches you. I think that's what it does. There's capture energy, which is you add more Pokemon to your bench, which is great for like setting up more Menses, getting a Jirachi on the bench. I think warp energy switches. I actually don't remember. I don't have it. So there's recycle energy, which I think rotates actually. I'm actually not too sure. And of course there's triple energy as well. So like we have all sorts of different options in this deck list as far as like that goes. I don't think I'd play Porygon before people ask. I don't think Porygon is good. I don't think relying on a stage 2 Pokemon to accelerate your energies is ever a good idea. Especially since like there's not really it's just so hard to be consistent. And then like they attack it and then what do? You just kind of lose, right? So I'm not going to do Porygon, but because it's still just a 2 energy attacking deck, right? I'd probably like cut out a lot of stuff that involves like obviously like if we could cut things out, we can cut out the welders, the I don't know, I don't think I'd keep Jirachi, but I probably add a lot of draw support, right? So I'd cut out the welders, a lot of the energies, which would probably be replaced with more colors energy. So I don't think the energy count would change. It would still probably be 12 energies, but it'd probably be even more because we don't want to draw a triple for our energy for the turn, right? Triple is always going to be the card we draw next time. So you'd want to play what we play now plus triples as well. So probably like 13, 14 energies. Probably 14 energies. You cut out the welders, you cut out the scoop up nets, the Zigzagoon, you play some crushing hammers, some vitality bands, because I don't want to play Zigzagoon. My bench is going to be filled with like probably draw Pokemon and stuff like that, so something to keep in mind. We probably need some sort of like colorless attacker as well, like something to deal with. Yeah, probably something. Anyways, that's just me rambling. I love you, deck profile, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I need to get some water because my throat is killing me. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Answer the comment question today for a chance to win a booster box. Thanks to our lovely sponsors at Guardian Gaming, like we do with all of our videos before the official set drops. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.